The case of the Sydney nurse who murdered 11 people returns to court today.
Man accused of inflicting a fatal punch to teenager Daniel Christie in Sydney's King's Cross is expected to appear in court today, charged with murder.
After screaming and collapsing upon hearing her boyfriend had been found guilty of murder.
Today we had former Labor kingpin Eddie O'B called in to explain whether his family was involved in what's been called the state's biggest corruption case since the Rum Court.
So I'm the principal registrar as well as the CEO. So those two roles are quite different. The Chief Executive Officer role is an administrative role, so that means I'm responsible for the administration of the court, and the principal registrar role is like a semi-judicial role. People do get unhappy about court cases. You know, there's something that's reported on, and because this is a Superior Court of New South Wales, we do a lot of important cases, and we do have a lot of, criminal cases that come before us. The court rarely makes a public comment about anything unless it's something to do with the operations side. So we never comment on cases. That's inappropriate. From time to time, the Chief Justice will make speeches, and he's quoted in those speeches, but essentially we don't make any public statements to newspapers or anything. Neutral tone in relation to how it's released. The court is doing a lot more to increase public awareness of the process of what we do. So there's lots of controversy at the moment about the term of sentences of people going to jail and that sort of thing. So the way we deal with that is we now issue judgment summaries. So that's about a page or a page and a half that can summarise, in one case, a 900-page judgment. So we're releasing information, very short, concise information now so that the public and the community is aware of what's happening in those decisions. That's a major step forward for us, and I think that's going to help enormously. The most we get is we have a Twitter account, and that account is used by the Chief Justice to communicate items of significant interest for the community, such as decisions in cases. There's a lot of very controversial decisions that come out in criminal cases and civil cases, so we use that as an opportunity to let the community know that a judge has made a particular decision. That's tweeted, and then that tweet has a link to the judgment summary on the website. So we do communicate a lot through the website, which the public, obviously, everybody has access to, so we make announcements through there. And the other way is the Twitter bird is obviously on there, and we tweet as well. The Twitter account coming in December last year that's a major improvement for us, and it has brought us into a community. We don't tweet an opinion or a comment on something. It's literally a piece of information. So we don't get into the comment or opinion type communications at all. Just because cases are decided, and that's the end. We use the website now much more than we ever did. We now have online filing, so people can file their documents online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That never used to happen. They're called the public information officers, so they're like media liaison officers. So they're the sort of bridge between the court and the media. If it's in relation to a case, they deal directly with the judge who has the case. I have no role in that because it's before the judge. If it's something else to do with the operations of the court, then they will speak to me about that, and I have a role in that. Pretty much all of the communications to the media are vetted by the Chief Justice. I can't even think of an example where I would make a public comment about something just because of the sensitivity and the confidentiality about the cases that we have. We are continuing to look at other areas of social media. So Twitter was our first step into that. We don't have Facebook, other courts do. So we are looking at broadening the communication mediums for us. We don't have any particular plans at the moment, but it is something that we're looking at because we do think that it's quite important these days that the public has a good understanding of what goes in the court and how decisions are made. That transparency is quite important. So we're having a look at social media, nothing at the moment, but that's probably the most that we will do, I think.
Thank you very much, Linda, for joining us today. It was really interesting insight into what your job entails and the communications that goes with it. So thank you for that.
It's my pleasure, Tom.